Hey there, geeks! Adam coming at you with another edition of Comic Card Crazy. We have an interesting pack of cards to share with you today because recently we were flipping through issue 122 as we were getting ready to record that episode. And what did we find? An ad for Marvel ReCharge cards. Anybody remember Marvel ReCharge? It looked kind of like the second coming of Overpower, another collectible card game using some of the art of the day from some of their top artists. Now, this pack of cards here is interesting. We have Elektra there, as you see. And in this issue as well, it is announced that Elektra had been taken on by a modeling agency to be offered as a model for various products. And it was unclear what she would actually get a contract for, but here she was modeling for Marvel ReCharge cards. We actually have two packs that we're going to be opening up. But I do want to mention one more thing. Some nice synergy in this issue with Marvel, because there is also basically a day in the life of Joe Quesada as editor-in-chief, and in there as well, very prominently displayed is a whole grouping of Marvel ReCharge cards in the box and everything, when there's a picture of him and Bill Jemas in an office. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of fun. They're just like, we're going to have an ad for them, and you're going to see, a not so covert ad as hey, this is just a day in the life. We just put Marvel ReCharge cards everywhere. They're just the greatest game ever. Anyway, let's take a look what's inside here and find out, if it's a game we want to play. What do you say? Okay, so here we are with our pack of Marvel ReCharge cards. This is the inaugural edition of their collectible card game. And yeah, as you can see, a very shimmery pack of cards here. Let's see if it gives us any details. I don't know that there are many chase cards or anything in here, but there might be some variants. So we'll check it out here. In 2001, really tried to get the ball rolling again. I wonder why they didn't just bring Overpower back into the fold, But I guess maybe that was deemed as old school at that point. So let's check out some of the art here. Oh man, okay, so starting off with Ghost Rider. So just tell you Johnny Blaze, also Zarathos, right? A mixture of the two. And then give you a little bit about him. Okay, so we have this number here, and then a number in the bottom corner as well. So I assume the one in the bottom corner is telling you it's number 42 of 250 available cards. But I don't know. Now the back is just the logo here. It does kind of look like it's a cool, metal stamped, probably something you could have, as a as a license plate or something like that. So that's interesting. All right, here we go. We have Mystique now. What it's looking like is that a lot of this is having to do with the actual cards themselves are featuring art from Marvel Comics. This is an original art, because you can see the different art styles at play. It wasn't something, but this is interesting. You can have a power card, like a team-up card with Punisher and Black Widow, kind of a Marvel Knights team-up there. All right, let's check this out. Dr. Octopus, looking pretty buff there, Doc Ock. A little different than we're used to. The schlubby Doc Ock with the bowl cut. So there we go. Now, telepathically controlled tentacles. I guess they are. I never thought about him being a telepath. I guess he's not innately a telepath. But, all right, here we go. Thor and Enchantress again. So a lot of these power cards, I was not expecting this kind of double team action there. Oh, here's a cool one. Okay, Blade. All right. Will we ever get that movie? Time will tell. But his real name is unrevealed, and he has immunity to vampire bites. Have we gotten his real name by now? Is that something that came into the mix? Back of the cards, not very different. Not a lot of variation or color swatches. Okay, we have Typhoid Mary, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, and psionic hypnotism. I gotta say, I've been seeing Typhoid Mary for a long time. I didn't realize she had all of those powers that she could bring to bear in a battle. And then there's Colossus, recently deceased. I don't think he had returned quickly in 2001, so maybe this is a kind of a tribute here. So interesting. All right, so that is pack number 1. We got pack number 2 right here. I gotta say, they're good-looking cards. It would be nice if there was it used to be back in the day, they would give you an explanation card, or at least a checklist or something that would kind of tell you, here's what you need to keep an eye out for, Ooh, but look at that right there. That's a nice Iron Man card. Also noticing a lot of horizontal images. I wasn't expecting that either. Okay. Okay, starting with Iron Man, keeping it rolling with Gambit. So there he's looking pretty cool. Old Remy. Now, the question is, what's going on with the bottom of his shoe there? Can he kinetically charge the bottom of his shoe and then kick people with a cool blast kick? I don't know. Ooh, now here's a team that I know this very well from the first issue of Exiles, that cover, so we're definitely using comic book art here. But that's kind of cool. You could have a teamwork card. So again, we're seeing lots of variations. I'm wondering if they were expecting people to collect these. Jean Grey there, from Ultimate X-Men, we should say. Or, like, were they banking more on the collectability or the actual people wanting to play the game? Because it doesn't look like these would be that great to play with. Like, maybe your booster pack is going to give you more. Now, this, I don't understand. I mean, it's Nightcrawler, but Nightcrawler has a gun? Is that from Ultimate X-Men also? Is that how he appeared? Some X-fan out there is going to have to tell me what's going on. Ooh, now the Human Torch, that's pretty awesome. That's a very intense flame on that he's going right there. Okay, here's another power card, kind of a team-up card with Havoc and Polaris. That Polaris looks kind of old, doesn't it? Was she not appearing in modern comics? Because who was wearing that style of costume still at this time in 2001? It feels like there was a major overhaul. But finally, if we're going with X-Men, you gotta have a major villain, and how about Juggernaut? All right, so that was our look at the Marvel ReCharge cards. Let's figure out which was our favorite. All right, so we have these Marvel ReCharge cards, an interesting attempt to get back into the collectible card game space. I will mention also in the issue, they talk about that this new thing that's going to be known as HeroClix is coming out. And so I think that maybe took over from the simple cards idea. Also, we should mention that it was probably the brainchild, I'm going to imagine, of Bill Jemas, who was Marvel's president of publishing at the time, who came from like the Fleer side of things. When Marvel bought Fleer, they had their own trading card company and all of that. That was kind of how he got into the publishing side on the comics. And so maybe he was saying, like, hey, these things usually sell. We should have these out there. But overall, I will say it would have been nice to have some original art in there as opposed to just pulling from comics. But I'm choosing my favorites, it's kind of between this first one we pulled with Ghost Rider and Iron Man. But I think if I was playing the game and I got to put down a card to be like, yeah, Iron Man, like this is the one that looks like he's ready for battle, looks like he's gonna, win the war in the long run, he's determined, I would probably choose that card. I will say, we did open up 2 more packs of these Marvel ReCharge cards on our YouTube channel. Sorry, on our Patreon channel. You're here on our YouTube channel. So if you want a little bit more from that, $5 a month at patreon.com/Wizards Comics gets you, early uncut releases of our regular podcast, but also our Toy Fairs podcast. But also, we do a lot of exclusive videos, or before we release them here on YouTube, we will give them as an early release to our patrons as well. But those particular packs are exclusive to Patreon. And I will say, we did get a special card in there that I didn't know existed, and it was really cool. So if you're interested, you can go check that out. But in the meantime, stay subscribed here on YouTube. You can find us on social media at Wizards Comics, at Wizards_Comics on Instagram. But we'll be back soon enough with some more nostalgic fun. But until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.